How would you define the word hope? It's a word we use a lot. One of the ways I think I would define it is when things seem at their darkest or a really big struggle, and then like light shines through. I remember one time when I was a really little kid, I was grocery shopping with my mom, which is like the worst thing ever for a little boy. And I already finished all my animal crackers and everything else. And she was checking out, and I was just so bored that I went and I leaned my head up against the wall, and my head found a rusty nail, and it just cut deep into my head, and blood came everywhere. It was a horrible scene. My mom was freaking out, and honestly, I didn't remember much after that. I kind of woke up in the hospital, and they had stitched up my head, and it was a dark room, and I remember just as a little kid feeling really, really scared. And then all of a sudden the door of the hospital room opened, and it was like this light kind of shone through from the outer hall. And I could see from the darkness and into the light, and my dad walked in. And as a little boy, there was just no greater sight to just see my dad come in. And I felt that hope, that light coming into the darkness. And that's how the Bible describes the hope of the birth of Christ. The story we have in our devotional this week is one where Simeon, an old man who had just been waiting for the Messiah to come, and Mary and Joseph bring Jesus to the temple to dedicate him. And Simeon takes Jesus in his arms, and this is what he says: "Lord, now you are letting your servant depart in peace, according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation, that you have prepared in the presence of all peoples, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and for the glory of your people Israel." And so Jesus, the birth of Jesus, that little baby, was called in the Bible a light, right, that comes into the darkness, except it's symbolic, right? It's a metaphor. That when the Bible talks about darkness, it's because of our sin and all that reproduces in us, the struggle, the slavery to it, the wrath of God that will come on that. And yet, because this baby, God himself, was born, that's a light coming into that darkness, and we're saved. And so what I want to encourage you is, whatever struggles you might be going through right now, to remember the fact that you know Christ, and that hope shines into that darkness.